For there to be love within us, we have to love other people. If we care for people genuinely, if we have a warm heart and a feeling of being close to others, we will not only be completely contented with the person we are, but of course, people will be drawn to us.
Welcome back to Mulligan Brothers. Today's video, as always, was sponsored by Huel. I'm drinking Huel Black Edition, which has 26 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs to make sure that I can stay satiated and proteined up whilst I make these documentaries. If you want to find out more about these, go to the link in the description. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video. Some of the comments we've had on videos that have circled around the theme of love before and how to find love or that kind of stuff is there's quite a large portion of comments is like, well, yeah, but nobody loves me. No, I'm not loved. Nobody loves me. I'm incapable of being loved. Yeah. And is the answer that you're saying you need to love? You need to love to be loved?
Oh, this is a great question. Yeah, this is like I really like this point because it's so common, like this idea I need to be loved, or I'm unlovable, or people don't love me, or related to this is you have to love yourself before you can love others, or I loved once and I got hurt, so I'm never going to love again. There's all of these common arguments, or objections that come up when we talk about this. Now, first of all, what we have to have within us is love. And for there to be love within us, we have to love other people. If we try to love ourselves, I don't know if you've actually thought about how to do this practically. The idea of actually loving yourself, like whether that means you wrap your arms around yourself or what, but it becomes an extremely difficult thing to do because it's very difficult to work out what it is you're actually loving. Like if you look into your heart, it's just clarity of mind. So, but if you love others, you develop a warm heart, feeling of being close to others, you develop affection. Once you have affection in your mind, you like the person you are. And so whether or not people love you or not is irrelevant. If you like the person you are, if you're comfortable in your own skin, if you have self-esteem because you know and you feel that you have good qualities, because you have a good heart, you don't need anyone to love you. Of course, people are drawn to that. You don't need to worry about whether people will love you or not. If you care for people genuinely, and I'll talk about the mistakes that we can make in that department as well, but if we care for people genuinely, if we have a warm heart and a feeling of being close to others, we will not only be completely contented with the person we are, but of course, people will be drawn to us.
If you lead a busy life like me and millions of other people around the world, you might be struggling to get your nutrition in. That's where this stuff comes in, absolutely clutch. If health was easy, everyone would be doing it. But Huel make it that easy. You scoop, you shake, and you go, and you get 26 vitamins and minerals, and every single ingredient inside this and all of Huel's other products has been expertly tested by their team to make sure you're getting exactly what you need. And if I'm really in a pinch for time, I'll grab their ready to drink, which has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and tastes delicious. Don't just take my word for it though. People like Idris Elba, Diver CEO Stephen Bartlett, and Hardest Geezer, who ran the entire length of Africa, use this as part of their daily routine. So if you want to find out more, go to the link down below. You can get exclusive offers, like if you sign up to their subscription service, you get 10% off all future orders, and if it's your first time ordering, you get a free shaker and t-shirt. It's also now available in major retailers in the UK and the US. What are you waiting for? Go get it.
I feel where the mistake happens is we confuse love with attachment. And we feel that we want to be needed, and we want people to need us. Yeah, this is unhealthy. This is what leads to the common, like the codependency relationships, the narcissistic codependent relationship, all of these things, they're all the same mind, all coming from attachment, whether it's a narcissistic mind or a codependent mind, it's all coming from the same place. It's not love. In that situation, we're focused on ourselves. This is like, maybe we could call this self-love. And where we think, I'm important and I need something from someone else. It's a very selfish mind. It's often confused with love. Like if you think of some of the lyrics of love songs, I can't live if living is without you. And then imagine that someone came to your front door and said, oh, hi, just want you to know, I can't live if living is without you. You'd be like, back away from the door, I'm phoning the police. Like, it's a stalker mind, right? And so many song lyrics are actually, if you really listen to the words, they're very much like obsessive, stalker-like words that is very unhealthy and that you would never really want in a relationship. Whereas true love is it's pure. True love is like, I want you to be happy. It's quite simple. Like all our energies, instead of coming in, what about me? It's going out, like, what about you? And it's so beautiful and it's so healthy and it never hurts. It will never hurt you. Why? Because it is by nature the experience of peace. Therefore, it's what we would call a true source of happiness. So if you love somebody truly, you will always be happy. Now, commonly, people to that would say, well, what if I do that, I could become a doormat. People might take advantage of my kindness, of my love. They won't. Because you're already at peace, because you're happy, you see what's going on. When we're attached to someone, like when we're only focused on our own happiness, and then we develop, to fulfill that wish, we develop attachment to someone, it's effectively like giving them the keys to our happiness. As soon as you're attached to someone, we've all been in a relationship where we are more attached to someone than they are to us. As soon as you're in that dynamic, they can do whatever they like. They can treat us badly and we'll go back for more because we've become dependent on their approval, on their validation, on everything they want, because we're afraid that if we lose them, we lose our happiness. So love will never make us a doormat, but self-love or self-cherishing, giving rise to attachment and dependency, will always make us a doormat. Always. Whereas love is free. Once I went to a wedding, Christian wedding, and a minister in the church, he said to these are two of my friends getting married, and the minister said, look at the pillars in the church. He said, they're a little bit far apart. If they were too close together, the roof would fall off. And then he said, that's my advice for your wedding, for your marriage. Like true love means just let them be who they are and support them, wish for them to be happy. Whereas normally we confuse attachment for love, which is when we want to grab hold of them and pull them towards us. And if you develop that mind, you become vulnerable and lots of problems come. But whereas if you give them space, just want them to be happy, you can never be manipulated. They can never take advantage. And if they do start behaving in unhealthy ways, of course, you love them, so you try to help them. But in the end, if the relationship has to come to an end, although it's challenging, you'll never spiral into despair because you will know you're a good person with a good heart. It's only when you die that you know whether you've lived a good life. The most definite thing, no matter who you are, what your background is, what you believe, what you don't believe, the most definite thing that's going to happen is death.